All right, let's see what we can do. Titans with the first pick. We won't make the playoffs if we don't take a tight end, Skip Bayless. So just like real life, he really has no idea what he's talking about. We have, we're pretty solid there. We have Reese. All right.
The Bills are now on the clock.
All right, Rob Kruger heading to the Titans. Interesting pick up there.
Bills just made their pick. Adam, what can you tell us about him?
After he set a team record for pass completions in a game, his draft stock couldn't have been any higher. Showing tremendous pocket presence, vision, and throwing accuracy, multiple GMs felt as if he had all the makings of a franchise quarterback. Now he'll have a chance to take his gunslinger mentality to the next level with his new coaching staff, hoping it translates to NFL success.
All right, I'm going to need your guys' help hearing some of that stuff because it is so low on my screen.
Now that he's off the board, Adam, why don't you tell us?
You guys are going to have to tell me what they're saying.
Rugby's a sport that's played with guys of all shapes and sizes. In his case, he was one of the big guys pushing and pulling blocks in the center of the pitch. He was playing rugby for a university in Australia before he was recruited to transfer and play football for 2 seasons here in America. His first year was spent adjusting to the game, getting used to the different rules and how to play his position properly. The guy even had to adjust how he tackled now that he had to wear pads and a helmet. But his second year is really where we started to see what he could potentially do. He's a physical player at the line of scrimmage. The team was able to pick up a good addition to its line with a bit of an interesting history.
Somebody just brought up a good point. The Packers no longer have Aaron Rodgers. They might be drafting a quarterback, and even though Denny's not really projected to go anytime soon, a team that needs a quarterback might draft a quarterback. Again, I don't make trades though, so if anything, I'd have to delegate it, and that could be a pretty risky move because I could give up way more than I would like to. People are telling me to trade up and take Denny. I can delegate it. That doesn't mean I'm going to get him. Doesn't mean I'm going to get him, but
now that he's been picked, Adam, tell us.
Oh, we're good.
The importance of a lockdown pass defender cannot be emphasized enough, and that's exactly what every GM I talked to described him as. His ability to play physical and to outwork his opposition off the line have also been areas of high praise on his journey to the draft. This skill set could be seen in numerous games this year where he completely shut down some of this draft's top-rated wide receivers. When you're tasked with neutralizing an opponent's #1 wideout each week, there's a great deal of responsibility to ensure you're not just physically ready, but also mentally ready. This is another important trait the GMs I spoke with mentioned to me that made them so excited about this guy. The hope is that he will quickly learn the playbook, get some solid reps in the preseason, and come week 1, be ready to play.
I have no idea what they're saying. It's way too low. You guys are going to have to inform me.
The Rams are now on the clock.
All right.
The Colts are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Oh, the Cardinals.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Ah, I liked quick. All right, we're coming up on us.
The Dolphins have just made Fletcher their newest player.
He's a Heisman-winning defender. Let me say that one more time. He won the Heisman, and he's a defensive player. Need I say more? You can imagine how well he played this season to win the biggest award in college over several offensive playmakers. The trophy was well-deserved, and according to Matt Miller, he projects really well as a defender in the NFL. I think this is a home run pick, and it's great to see a defender get some well-deserved recognition.
All right, we're just about there.
The Cowboys are now on the
As long as the Cowboys don't.
Mendenhall off the board, Adam. What do you have to say?
He's the type of wide receiver that several scouts believe could be the next all-time great. His performance at the College All-Star Game further supported this belief, hauling in double-digit catches and ending the day with 4 touchdowns. Draft experts praise him for his pure athleticism, but some have questioned his work ethic. Matt Miller was one of them, feeling that when the game comes so easily to you at the college level and you are so gifted physically, you could very easily lose the mental edge needed to excel in the NFL. He should get plenty of reps in the preseason to prove his worth and see if he can live up to the lofty expectations that many have for him.
I really wanted Mendenhall. Oh, Cowboys. I don't think I'm going to trade down just because I really want to guarantee that we get this guy. Simply because we don't have a backup plan. If I don't get him, I'm in a lot of trouble. And because of that, we're not even going to risk it. We're going to go ahead and make our pick. And that has to be Denny. We don't want to risk out on losing him. So Stuart Denny, the nerdiest name of any player in the NFL, I believe. 6'3" from UCLA is going to be our pick. So I'm really hoping this works. You know, he fits our offense, a power run. That's a lot of what we do. Overall, he's supposed to be a B. Only 22, good throw power. Throw accuracy, medium throw accuracy are okay. Deep throw, not good, which does concern me a little bit. But still as good as everybody else in the draft that hasn't been drafted. So Stuart Denny it is. Hopefully we're making the right choice here. And hopefully he can lead us to the Waffle House. I mean, the Super Bowl.
Are now on the clock.
Although Denny's hates Waffle House. But he makes waffles, so I call Denny's the Waffle House. I don't know. I'm sticking to it. Leave me alone. Trade down. The wide receivers we wanted are now gone. But let's at least look at what we have offered before we move forward. A lot of first-round picks this year. So in a few of these instances, if we don't see a player we necessarily want right now, we can trade down a little bit and just move down a few spots and pick whoever up. Let's go ahead and check to see who's available, though. Alright, did we scout Barnett? I might just need to do it this way. I'm assuming we scouted him. B speed. A acceleration. Only C catch. That's all we scouted with him. Okay. Some of the other tight ends are a little bit better, though, I feel like. Wide receiver, the guys I really wanted are gone, but 6'6". We already have one really tall player. Got A catching, B catching traffic, A spectacular catch. Route running's only a C, but release is an A, jumping is an A, speed is an A. I think we have to go with Ryan McNeil here. I think we have to, but man, there was a lot of good players in this one, huh? A lot of good players. I think McNeil needs to be the pick, though. I see a lot of people in the chat also saying McNeil. I feel like that's going to be a good option for us.
The Browns are now on the clock.
All right. Moving forward.
The Jets are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock.
I can never tell if they're going to talk or not.
The Panthers are now on the clock.
Panthers, baby. They just got a good defensive tackle.
Panthers pick is in. Adam, did Cam Newton get some help?
Matt Miller told me to look at a certain stat in regards to this defensive back, and that's average number of targets in a game. Not surprisingly, you see that number start to fall each week. He was a master of the bait and switch early in the year, on track to break records midway through the season. Eventually, quarterbacks gave up altogether trying to throw the ball in his direction, essentially taking away a receiver on every play. There's going to be an adjustment period now that he's in the NFL, but he certainly has the potential to be a shutdown defender for this team in the future.
Somebody just tried comparing to Bobby Stevenson and McNeil. McNeil is fast. Bobby Stevenson was slow. So slow.
The Bengals are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. Okay, so the Lions have made their selection, and it's Hilliard.
After turning in an average performance at the Combine, his pro day was a last-chance effort to show off his athleticism. He kicked off the day by running his 40 time in just under 5 seconds. Nothing special, but what scouts were most impressed with was his 10-yard split. He tested faster than most other linemen in the draft. At the sound of the gun, he was out of his stance and passed the 10-yard marker in around 1.5 seconds. That's the kind of burst that coaches love to see from their big guys. Also told, he showed great bend in the knees and his footwork was sharp during drills. One GM told me he looked like the most complete lineman in the class, and it's no surprise he's already been picked up. He should be a solid anchor for this team in the future.
What have they been saying about everybody? I don't think anybody's told me yet.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
All right, I'm pretty happy with our draft so far. We still have another pick in the first round.
Decided to go with Florence here.
His role started out small at the beginning of the season, but it ended with him being one of the key factors in this team's success this year. Per Matt Miller, you could see his role increase with each week until he eventually became a huge part of its rushing and passing game. They used him all over the field, making it a pain for defenses to field the right personnel to counter his size and athleticism. If I had to pick the total package in the class, it'd have to be him. And I'm sure that's the same way this team felt.
All right.
The Vikings have just made Adeniji their guy.
The first round is the only time we really deal with this.
He's credited with having one of the biggest plays in college football this season. Late in the game, he picked off the quarterback and ran the entire field to score the game-winning touchdown. He did everything a coach would want to see, from baiting the quarterback to reading the downfield blocks. He flashed enough playmaking ability in that game and the remainder of the season to draw a lot of interest this offseason. This team has to be pretty happy with this pick.
People are saying skip the stories, but some people want to hear them. If they want to hear them, I'm going to let them hear them. I don't want to skip over.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
But
The Saints are now
after the first round, we really don't deal with it quite as much.
The 49ers are now
Let's
on
go Niners, make it happen.
the Eagles.
Oh, they traded away?
The Ravens are now on the clock. The LA Dreams are now on the clock.
Still saying the LA Dreams. All right, we have some offers. Let's see what we got here. First rounder next year, first rounder next year, second this year, second next year. Nothing that really intrigues me a whole lot. If we don't see anybody we like, which again, in this draft, I really didn't see a whole lot of people scouting that stand out to me. This guy is still available, though. Kind of worries me that teams have been passing up on him. How do we feel about Randall? There were cornerbacks in the first round. I just forgot about them. I had scouted them earlier. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, a lot of B's. Finally got an A down here. Let's see. Press. Catching. Do I have a good playmaker here? No real good playmakers at all. So who is Burton? 6'2". Projected second-year player, prototype. What do you guys think about Burton? People are saying right linebacker. Right outside linebacker, alright? Again, I don't really feel like we saw a whole lot of players that we enjoyed here. Oh, well, Priester. Priester looks pretty solid. Feel like if anything, we'd have to go Priester here. But he's available in the third round, projected. Now, granted, that could go quickly since there's not many players ahead of him. James. People are saying James. Where was James? Is that the tight end? No. Who was James again? Everybody in the chat saying James. Let's go find him. Did I just look by him? Was he a wide receiver? Who was James? What position? I forget. He was a cornerback? Yeah, but was he the guy that wasn't like available late round or something? Yeah, he's available in the third round. I don't think we need him right yet. I mean, I'm definitely down to get him. But I think we can wait a minute on him. I mean, he's projected third round. I still have a second round pick, which I can use on him. And a third round pick. Maybe I should just trade down. Pick up another second round pick and then use that one on James. That might be the best bet, I'm thinking. What do you guys think for that? We can pick up another second round pick, add another one next year. Let's see what our offers are. Because I think we can just add another second next year too. Yeah, second this year, second next year. Or a second this year. A second this year and a third this year. I'm down to add more picks because we did see a few players in the later rounds that I'd be interested in getting. We'll do second next year, second. We'll do that. There wasn't anybody at that spot that I really feel like we needed. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully that wasn't a mistake.
The Seahawks are now on the clock.
All right.
Are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock.
Oh.
Adam, what can you tell us about
Let's see where that pick was.
Going into the season, several scouts had him ranked as the top linebacker prospect entering the draft, and what followed was a flurry of media attention. The constant distractions looked to have taken their toll on him as he struggled to put together consecutive strong performances throughout the entire season. This inconsistency had him all over the experts' draft boards on a week-to-week basis. Even Todd McShay wasn't immune to the ranking roller coaster, having him anywhere from the number 2 to the number 10 linebacker available. This pick will be looked at as a bit of a gamble until he's able to prove he has the mentality it takes to turn in great performances on a week-to-week basis.
People are saying I should have taken the Panthers trade, but I think I already have 3 third-round picks already.
Are now on the clock.
So not near as big of a need.
The Rams are now on the clock. Rams have just made their pick. Adam, what can you tell us about him?
A consistent performer his entire college career, he went out on a high note in his final game, recording 3 interceptions and being named the player of the game. General managers have been simply drooling over the opportunity to draft him, with one telling me he's as close to a sure thing as there is in this draft. He'll have plenty of opportunity to showcase his coverage skills this season, as he'll likely line up against some of the NFL's most elite wide receivers.
All right.
The Cardinals are now on the clock.
There goes Barnett.
The Dolphins are now on the clock. Let's go to Adam Schefter now, who's got more to say about the Dolphins.
What an awesome name.
I'll tell you, everyone was talking about him after the Combine, and not exactly for the best of reasons. He was called out almost unanimously as one of the worst interviews at Indy. I spoke with a few of the scouts who sat down with him, and the common remarks I heard was that he was slow to respond, had very little to say, and definitely had his periods of awkward silence. Fortunately for him, how he plays is looked at more than how he talks. I think the team found a good player, even if he is lacking a little charisma.
All right.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Oh, there goes Boykin. I know some people were asking for him. We didn't need a wide receiver, though.
The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock.
There goes Burton.
The Giants are now on the clock.
There goes Randall, but I wasn't a big fan of him.
The Bengals are now on the clock. The LA Dreams are now on the clock.
Pause draft. All right. So here's where we traded down to. Let's see who is available, if there's anybody that we like. Oh, there's another Burton. Let's go ahead and get the players that we know we want. I don't want to miss out on them. Just on the off chance that some guy goes before I'm expecting him to. Anders James got A, man coverage, B, zone coverage. He is 6'2". Definitely seems like the player for us. He's projected 3rd round, but I'd rather go ahead and just get the players we want. I think he's going to be a steal. So
the Texans are now on.
There we go. Filling needs.
The Steelers are now on the clock. Simply put, they went with Simon. Adam, what do you know?
His college career came to an abrupt end this year when he was suspended from the team. I spoke with the school's athletic director, and he told me it was due to an academic violation. He was on probation and close to failing several courses before the decision was made between the director and his coach. He was able to turn his grades around, but his draft stock took a hit when the news broke. Scouts weren't too bothered by his academic issues, but his lack of playing time made it harder to evaluate him with the rest of his class. And now that he's drafted, I don't think the team is too concerned with his grades either.
All right.
The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on.
Coming up on our other pick.
Packers have just made Browning their guy. Let's hear more about him from our guy, Adam.
The key concern I've been hearing from several GMs is that he simply isn't in good enough physical shape to see significant action early in the season. Even with a full offseason of NFL conditioning, the feeling is that he will not be able to stay on the field every down and maintain that high level of play coaches want out of their guys. The game never slows down at this level. He's going to have to get in better shape if he wants to be an every down player. This is a kid who may eventually make an impact in the league, but it may take an entire year to get his body into the kind of shape needed to make an impact at this level.
People are telling me to get Sherman, but he's not projected till like a later round. We have 3 third-round picks, guys.
The Saints are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock.
Jennings just
Boy,
picked up. Adam, what's the latest?
the Niners keep trading everyone.
Recovering from an injury only to have it happen again, especially in an exhibition game. It was one of the rare times I've seen a brutal injury at the annual All-Star game between future NFL players. He took a hit that tore his ACL a second time in less than a year. That kind of injury history might scare away most teams, but it didn't scare away this team from drafting him. I've been told by his agent he's still recovering from the surgery, but he should be ready to play for training camp.
All right.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
All right, let's go ahead and try to get that right outside linebacker. That is who we need next on our list. See people saying get Gator. But I don't think he looked all too well, or at least not better than other players. There's Priester. I think that was the player that we wanted, if I'm not mistaken. BB, A-Speed. Yeah.
The Seahawks.
Dan Priester, right outside linebacker. There we go. Thank you so much to all the new followers, man. You guys are absolutely insane tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The Titans are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock.
Make your pick. See what we can do here. Let's go back and look. We can take a quick look back at the corners. So Sherman's not projected till the 5th round. I really think we can wait off a little bit. Now people are saying to go for Gator, but not really impressing me, to be honest. Like, he doesn't look bad, but nothing about him really looks good. I mean, I don't know, just not all that great, I don't feel like. Sherman, on the other hand, definitely looked good. Tracy looks pretty good as well. And that would be the other player, but he's not supposed to go till the 7th round. So one thing we could do is get another quarterback, just in case Denny is not as good as maybe we think he is. And again, this guy kind of measures out the same. Yeah, none of those really match up. The deep throw accuracy worries me. But Watkins could be just a backup plan, or if nothing else, the backup to him. See some people saying trade down. We signed a left guard, Falcoholic. Tight end, who's available over here? See what we got. Yeah, I mean, nothing that too good. I mean, we have plenty of 3rd round picks, so maybe I could just draft them. Might as well. Now, let's see what trade offers that we have. We already got a right outside linebacker, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. We just got Priester. 2nd round picks next year are a few of the offers. And a 2nd round pick from the Packers might be very, very nice, considering they just lost their quarterback. So that could be a pretty high pick next year. I don't really feel like there's anybody that we need right now. I'm down to do this right here. And then there's just nobody I really feel like we need. But it could work out because, again, we have another pick right here. Like, right around the corner. So
The Lions are now on.
Oh, and there goes the guy I was thinking about getting.
The Chargers are now on the clock. The Jets are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock.
Dolphins have just picked up.
Oh, here we go.
Adam, what can you tell us about him?
He entered the season drawing comparisons to some of the most feared defensive linemen in NFL history after a midseason disappearing act that saw him record just 2 tackles in 5 games. Many scouts were left shaking their heads in disbelief. Even with the growing concern over his lack of production, there were some GMs who felt his poor stat lines were a direct result of the increased focus he began receiving as a result of his hot start. One pointed specifically to reports of offensive coordinators fashioning entire game plans around avoiding him, knowing that his fellow linemen were incapable of picking up his mantle. He'll now have a chance to prove believers right, as he's expected to see significant playing time in the preseason with a line far superior to the one he had in college.
The LA Dreams are now on the...
All right, people are saying take McCown. Who is McCown? Down here. All right, the right. Yeah, he didn't really look all that good though. We scouted him. I don't remember him looking all that good. Power moves, but I mean, I guess he's not bad. But again, you guys are like shouting at me to take players that, well, I guess he's his 3rd round pick. All right, we can go with McCown. We do need a right end. That's fair. Of course, I remember you, Cowboy. What's up, dude?
The Jaguars are now on.
All right.
The Jets are now on the clock.
Hopefully, we don't get any stories here. I'd like to advance through quickly. Whoop.
The Panthers are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock.
Here we come.
The Buccaneers are now on the
clock. All right, moving through quickly.
The Patriots are now on the clock. The Saints are
Oh, there goes Toll.
The 49ers.
See if they trade the pick away. Hey, the 49ers finally made a draft pick.
The Ravens are now on the clock.
All right, here we go. We've really kind of hit on all of our needs, I feel like, which I'm stoked about.